What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Welcome to Vlog Palace. Now this one is going to be, we're going to be talking about Marvel, MCU. I love Marvel. I love MCU. I started to follow MCU, the whole storyline, 2017. Not 2008 when the first Iron Man came out, or 2017 when the movie I watched was Thor Ragnarok. And the reason why I watched that movie was because the Hulk was on it. I'm a huge Hulk fan. I love the Hulk. And every movie that Hulk has been in it, I've watched. So it was like 2003 Hulk, 2008 Hulk, the Avengers, the first Avengers, the Avengers Age of Ultron, and then there was Thor Ragnarok. And I didn't care about what was the story about. I didn't care about what they were talking about. All I wanted was Hulk in action. I wanted to see Savage Hulk just fighting with almost everybody. And that was me. I loved the Hulk. It was just he was just an awesome character. And I followed Hulk for since 2003. And what really got me into MCU, the entire storyline, was obviously in Ragnarok, the post-credit scene. It was when you see a gigantic ship, which was Thanos' ship, pop out of nowhere, and I'm like, whoa, there's got to be a continuation of this, and I'm sure that the next movie was going to be the Hulk. But then I learned that it was an entire Infinity Saga. The whole storyline, and one movie after another, everything was connected, and I've watched every single movie, I've watched every single show, I've watched everything, and I love it. I'm a huge Marvel fan. I'm a big MCU fan. I love what Kevin Feige has been doing so far with these movies, and now we're into the multiverse. The next movie's coming out is the Spider-Man Brand New Day. I can't wait for that movie. Then you got the Avengers Doomsday, then the Secret War. Everything's been great. And the guys that I really listen to when it comes to Marvel is the Cosmic Wonder and Everything Always. Those are the two guys that I listen to and watch when they talk about Marvel. I think they're great. I like the way they break things down. That go detail by detail with the shows and the movies, and I love it. I love MCU a lot. So what we're going to be talking about in this video is really I'm going to be ranking my top 5 MCU shows, and that has been released on Disney Plus. And the animation shows are not part of it, and I don't know, because now they're starting to label like the Daredevil that finished recently, and the Wonder Man was recently, and I see the Punisher, which was good. With the Punisher, it was a Marvel special presentation, right? It was labeled that way. So when you have the like X-Men 97 or the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, they were labeled as Marvel animation, and then you had like Daredevil, like Loki, they were Marvel television. So I guess they made it more separate. I don't want to put all those shows together, so I just want to talk about the television side, where it's like WandaVision, Daredevil, Wonder Man, those type of, the real actors shows. Those are the ones I'm going to be ranking top 5. So let's get right to it. I want to go through every single show one by one and pretty much, give my feedback on what I think about these shows. So let's start with the recent one that just came out, the Wonder Man. The Wonder Man was, I didn't know nothing about Wonder Man. From what I understood, that Wonder Man was in the comics. He was more contacted with Iron Man. He was more involved with Iron Man, but obviously in the MCU, Iron Man is not with us no more, and they just made the show with no really connection at all. But what I really looked at more is that he was from Los Angeles and the West Coast, so there might be a West Coast Avengers. I could see him linking up with Shang-Chi, so they might have that going on. But Wonder Man overall was, to me, was an okay show. It wasn't too bad. It was different. It was an okay show, and I like the actor that played Wonder Man. I don't know his name, but he was good. He played very well for that character. Now the next one is the Ironheart. I don't know, really. It was just hard to have a reaction for that show. I just liked the ending when Mephisto came up, and I didn't understood how magic played along with the tech. You know, Ironheart was a more technology stuff, and then you had Red Hook, and Mephisto was more of a supernatural side. And you know, all this time I thought Mephisto was gonna come out on WandaVision or like Loki and those, you know, those type of shows. And you know, all of a sudden just came up on Ironheart. That I think it was a good ending. I like the ending, but over as a show, I give it an okay. It was an okay show. It wasn't bad, and it had some good actions. It seems there too. Now Daredevil. Daredevil I liked a lot. And I never watched the Netflix ones. These are the only 2 seasons that I've watched, the one that came on the MCU, and I like the show a lot. And maybe I should go and watch Netflix ones too. But it was a great first 2 seasons. I'm looking forward to the third one. From what I hear from Cosmic Wonder and Everything Always, those guys are talking about the Defenders might come in season 3, so I'm really looking forward to that one. But the Daredevil was definitely a great show. I'm going to label that as a great show. The next one is Agatha All Along. I don't know. I wasn't a fan. I'm not a fan of the show. I know they got good ratings. I watched it because I love Marvel. I'm always going to watch something that I believe it's not good. I'll watch it again if I have to, or if I really want to, but I didn't like it. I didn't like the Agatha Online. I guess it's not I don't know if it's like a popular character. I know it's tied into the whole it was tied into the whole WandaVision. I know it has a lot to do with Scarlet Witch, but I just didn't like the show. I didn't like it, and I don't know, for me it's not the best. I know a lot of you guys probably loved it. For me it was not the best, so I'm just gonna look at it as not good show for me. So, and the next one is Echo. Echo, listen, I love the action. I love the action. I'm just surprised Echo, we haven't seen Maya come up in Daredevil. I thought they had some type I know in the comics they have some type of connection going on. So I'm surprised in these first 2 seasons Maya hasn't, came up. And I know, she's related or was related to, Kingpin, whatever. So I really thought that she was gonna show up in one of either first season, second, or he might come up in the third. Who knows? But it was okay. I put that as an okay show. I like the action. I love the character. I think she played great, and I got that as I labeled that as an okay show. Now the next one is Secret Invasion. Now I was really looking forward to this show because Samuel L. Jackson is a great actor, one of my favorites. I actually liked the first 3 episodes. It was really, I liked it a lot. It was really good. I was like, whoa, like this is turning out to be a great show. But the last 3 or the last 2 was awful, something that I did not expect at all. And I have this labeled as a bad show. It was probably one of these worst shows in MCU. So overall, it just, the way the last 2 ended, it just really covered the entire overall of my rating for this show. It was not a good show. She-Hulk. Now She-Hulk was obviously one of the ones, because I'm a big fan of the Hulk. I wanted to see what She-Hulk was about. I know Dr. Banner, Bruce Banner, was gonna be there, so I was really excited. I was really looking forward to this, but I never thought this was gonna be the worst show. I labeled this, I'm gonna say now, I'm gonna label this the worst show in MCU so far. The worst show. It was awful, especially when I had a huge expectation of it, and Daredevil was in it, and I thought it was gonna be like really, at least good. I wanted to label it good, at least. It was awful. I'm labeling it as a very awful show. I did not like that show at all. Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel, I was never a fan to begin with. I know the whole the wrist bangles, whatever she had was has some type of connection to Kang the Conqueror. Obviously, we don't have Kang no more, but I liked the way it was going. I liked the way it was tying up to Kang, and I liked that part of it. But as overall, it was not my type of show that I would like to see again. I would never want to see it. If they made season 2, I'm going to watch it, but I don't think I'm gonna like it probably either. Depends if they add like Captain Marvel or any other type of characters. But Miss Marvel, I didn't like at all, and I'm gonna label that as a bad show. And maybe I know I'm not criticizing the story and everything. It's just not my type of show or type of superhero I would love, and never really looked forward to it, to be honest. But hey, I know a lot of you guys liked it, and that's fine. You know, you guys can like it. You know, it's I'm sure Miss Marvel has some type of connection to some people, but not for me. And I'm gonna label it as a bad show. Moon Knight was the one I looked forward to, and I had a great expectation for it, and I loved it. I think the show was great. I loved the character Moon Knight. I liked the way he was dressed. I liked the cape. I liked the eyes was all white. And I never understood the different personalities of it, but that's the way the comics were and the story, and it was just weird, confusing. But I watched it 3 times. Watched all the episodes 3 times, and overall I loved it. I think it's a great show. I wanted the season 2 so badly, but like right away. But I never got to it, and and then I was hoping maybe it would come up on Avengers Doomsday, or it would be on on different other shows. But it was just one show, one season, and I liked it. It was a great show. Hawkeye, I watched it 3 times too, and I know a lot of people didn't really like it that much, but I think I look at it as a very underrated show. I liked it a lot. I look at it as a good show. Now, Moon Knight was a great show. This is why I labeled it as a good show. I liked it. It has good comedy to it. It had good action. Kingpin was there. What's her name? Yelena. I can't say her name right. Black Widow's sister, Yelena Belova. Yes, she was in it, and I don't know. I guess I have a thing of where when you have movies or shows that has multiple characters in it. So I liked it, and it was at that the last episode of the show was good action. I liked the action, was a good part of it. It had some comedy to it, but it was good, and I look at it as a good show. For me, it was a good show. Now this one. Loki. This is a great show. To me, this is a great show. They could have made 4 more seasons of Loki. Same storyline. I will be into it. I know a lot of people will be into it. And the reason why now I love it more than ever is because this Loki is what is really, really tied into what's going to happen in Doomsday. And that's the one thing I look forward to, the movie Doomsday. I want to see Doom meeting Loki. That's all I want. That scene is the one I'm looking forward to the most. I think that's the moment that's going to be captured in the MCU history, when you see Doom versus Loki. And it's amazing how I never looked at Loki as a favorite villain or anything like that. Great actor, of course. Tom Hiddleston is a great actor. But the way Marvel took this character and built this character to be, turns out to be the most important character out of all those years from 2008 till now. It turns out turned out to be the most important character because he's holding the multiverse together. Who would have thought, out of all the characters, out of all the villains, Loki turned out to be the one. And they built them up beautifully. Both seasons, they built them up beautifully. I love the show. It was a great show. And again, I can't wait. Doom, Loki, that's going to be the moment for that movie. The next one is Falcon and Winter Soldier. I love the show. I'm surprised a lot of people are not talking much about the show. But I really, really love this show. I loved, it has obviously Winter Soldier, Falcon was connected to Steve Rogers, Captain America. They both was funny in that show, and it was a lot of good action shows, and it was to me, it's a very underrated show, probably more underrated than Hawkeye. I love this show. I love the way it was everything all tied into what happened in Endgame with Steve Rogers giving the shield to Falcon. Then you have Val made a debut on that show. Then you had obviously John Walker, U.S. Agent, tied into a little bit with the Thunderbolts, and it was just a great show. I loved it, and great action, great comedy. I love the show, and I think, to me, I label it as a great show. Not for a lot of people. I don't think they see it as a great show. For me, I label it great show. And the last show, WandaVision. That was the first show that came out in the Disney Plus. I loved it. It was I never expected it to be that great. It was awesome. Rewriting history, rewriting reality. That was awesome, and we learned a lot what Wanda became or turned out to be. Obviously, Scarlet Witch, and the show was continued to Doctor Strange multiple madness, right? So Doctor Strange, it was a good show. I'm looking forward to the Vision Quest that's going to come out. I believe is going to come out, and looking forward to seeing how that's going to be tied in with Wanda, or Wanda's going to be there. It's going to be great. But WandaVision was a great show. I labeled it as a great show. I did want to talk about, I kind of jumped ahead, the Falcon and Winter Soldier, the ending. And I'm surprised nobody talked about this. What happened to Sharon Carter? What happened to her? The MCU, the Kevin Feige, forgot to bring her up or have some type of connection of who she was talking to when she left the court, when she got pardoned. Did she talk to Thunderbolt Ross? Did she talk to Valentina? Like, what happened to her? Now, I know it's not a big character to really focus on, but I was always curious of who was she talking to and what was her goal was. And there was 2 movies that I thought maybe she was going to be popping up or she was going to be mentioned. And she was actually a big part of the show in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. But I thought she was going to pop up in the Thunderbolts, and I thought she was going to pop up in the Captain America Brave New World. No, we didn't get anything there. Now, I don't know if Marvel decided to just whatever, she's not important, but she's really not. In that show she was, but overall, the whole storyline, she was not. But I was just curious, whatever happened to her. Nobody, it's surprising nobody on YouTube ever talked about her and what happened to her. Where did she go? Who did she talk to? No confirmation, no continuation. They just left it as is. I don't know if they forgot about it or they just didn't really care about it. Because I know nobody's expecting her to come up in Doomsday or any other movies, as obviously right now. But I was just always curious of what happened to her. Again, who did she talk to? Like, she looked like she was turning into a villain, but I was just always curious what really happened to her. So I don't know. I guess we'll never find out, right? So that's all I wanted to say. But that was the entire show. Now, my top 5 MCU shows. Now I'm gonna start from 5 to 1. My number 5 is Moon Knight. Again, I love the show. It was a great show. I loved the way the character looked. I loved the way the character had certain powers. And then the storyline was great. The show was great, and I just hope we get a season 2. And it looks like we're probably gonna get it after Secret Wars. I don't know if they're gonna ever show up in the Secret Wars. I don't know if we're gonna get a season 2 between Doomsday and Secret Wars. I love the show very much. I hope we get it again. Number 4, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I liked it a lot. I liked it. I liked the characters. We got to know those characters. We got to love those characters. We know what they're about, and it was a great show for me. It was a great show. And then Bucky continued with Thunderbolts. It was a good movie. And Captain America Brave New World, he continued with that one. I also looked at it as a good movie. A lot of people didn't, but I really liked the movie. Number 3, WandaVision. WandaVision. I mean, it was just it was different. It was confusing. I loved the way Cosmic Wonder was breaking it down about that show. And you know, the more he was breaking it down, the more I loved the show more, and I've watched it probably like 5-6 times, to be honest, all episodes. It was a great movie. I loved it, and I'm looking forward to Vision Quest and hopefully Doomsday, where if Scarlet Witch is gonna show up. But WandaVision was a great show, so I really liked that show a lot. And number 2, Daredevil. I loved the first 2 seasons. I think it was a great 2 seasons, great action. It has some emotional to it. I don't really look at it some comedy, but it was a great show. I'm looking forward to season 3. Who knows if Daredevil's gonna pop up on Spider-Man Brand New Day. That's what I've been hearing, you know, that he might show up. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I know the Punisher's gonna be there. I look forward to watching that movie. But Daredevil was a great show. And of course, number 1, Loki. Again, Loki is the guy. Loki is the most important character right now in the MCU, because that's who Doom is probably most likely going to meet with and wants the most, is Loki, because he's the one that's holding the entire multiverse. That's why I love the show so much, because literally that show is being connected to Doctor Doom and the Avengers Doomsday. I'm very excited, and that's my top 5, guys. So let me know, comment below. Let me know what's your top 5. Am I off? Am I wrong? Am I right? Comment below, and I'm more than happy to engage with you guys. Comment more, talk about it. So that's a wrap, guys. That's all I have for you guys. I wish I could. I'm gonna do many more of these Marvels. I love Marvel so much. I have Marvel action figures collections I like to show, so I'm looking forward to showing you guys that. But this is all I wanted to really talk about. Top 5 MCU shows, and that's my top 5, guys. So comment below and tell me what you guys think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone.